In this video, let's take a look at on-device AI. Well, and in this case, AI on Chrome. Now, Edge, which is part of also the Chromium platform, Blink is the core engine for these browsers. Edge is also going to have something as well. But for this one, I want to just talk about Chrome. And as of Chrome 148, we now have the ability to just have a large language model on our device. Now, this is all dependent on whether or not you're using your own machine or maybe a company machine. The company policy may be different, so you have to watch out for that. But how do you check? How do you know? Well, you can go to tab here and open a tab and go to your Chrome on-device internals. We'll make this a little bit bigger for us. So Chrome on-device internals, that's going to tell you if you have the model installed. Now, Google has been pushing this out as of May, as of this month. It's been pushed out to eligible browsers. So you get a 148 or higher, and you have to have no policies that say, hey, don't allow this to happen. Now, there's been a little bit of controversy and whatnot. It is 4 gig of space. It's eating up. Here's the positive side in my mind. For that 4 gig, you're getting a local language model for free. You're also getting it from a provider that is going to assure that it's safe in terms of not coming with malicious payloads or having anything else of that nature. Now, that's not to put down any other sites that offer up language models to be downloaded. That's not the case. But I am suggesting that because it's coming from a Google server, they are responsible for making sure that it hasn't been laced with malware or any other things that you don't want on your machine. And it's becoming part of Chrome. So it's becoming part of the browser, which as we head towards AI operating systems, you're going to have language models installed and they're going to eat up space, just like the Java framework eats up space or the .NET framework eats up space. You need those to run applications, though, depending on if they were written in Java or .NET. So this isn't anything really new, scandalous, or scary, but it's super nice because now you've got a language model on your hard drive that you can use for private and free. Okay, so on-device internals, that'll tell you what you're doing, that'll tell you where it is. How do I use it? What can I do with it? Yeah, that's where the fun starts. With simple HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And the first one I want to run here is on my hard drive. So I'm running this directly from my hard drive. And let me show you that this is all pure HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I do have it available on my GitHub. I will put links in the description for all of this stuff. Not obviously to my hard drive, because that's not going to get you anywhere. But at least to the GitHub repo, you can look at the code. You can download the code if you wish. You can run it through the GitHub site. Nothing's coming back to me. I'm not watching any of this. But MIT licensed, and some of the underlying code came from a lot of good examples from Google themselves. So that was another thing that's in here. Got some simple HTML. There's really nothing super special. And then when it comes to the JavaScript, everything is commented out to give you some ideas of what's going on and how I used it, as well as, you could feed this to a GPT and say, is there anything suspicious in here? You could do whatever you want with it. I'm not building anything that's going to be suspicious. So if you want to use it, go ahead. You want to modify it, go ahead. I've got 3 different approaches to be able to output what the language model could offer. And yeah, it's all explained. It's all. So with that said, as we look at the network tab, well, I want to see if there's any phone home code that may be happening right now. So I'm going to click my console, and with a little bit of feedback to the user, that's all this is, a little bit of feedback with pure HTML, no dependencies on a library for that. That is CSS and HTML. You're good to go. So now we can say whatever we want. We want to tell me about JavaScript or XML Tell me about XML. Let's do XML. I'm a big fan of data and markup. This is the performance I'm getting off of my local device. There's no network traffic. And what we're seeing now is it checked to see if the model was ready. It is. And it's going to output it. So do you need a dedicated GPU? Do you need to have, this is using web GPU is what it's doing. So if there is a GPU on your device, then it's going to use it. So if you have a NVIDIA card, great. I don't. I'm using the Intel Arc graphics. That's what this is working off of as far as the GPU goes. Now, my computer does have a neural processing unit as well. Unfortunately, there's no NPU play here though. Let me show you those numbers. So let's take a look here. And you can see there's nothing happening on the NPU side. The CPU is about 47, 50%, but the GPU is pegged right now, 93%. And I'm also recording a video. So balance those equities a little bit. And as you can see here, it finished writing what I asked about. And we could keep going on and on. Context, just like you have tokens that you pay for the big dogs, the frontier providers, the big models and such. Yeah, it's telling you, okay, you used up 1,493. It's not charging me anything. And if I get past the 92.16, then it's going to start to lose kind of memory, if you want to look at it that way. But it's not going to have the stuff that you first started it with. So is that a big thing? Is that not? It depends on what use case you're applying this to. It's not going to be perfect for everything. Now, eventually we will see this in other edge cases, I'm pretty sure. And Google I/O is happening today and tomorrow. So I'm pretty positive there's going to be some new cool announcements around this. But to me, this is already super cool. So let's also look at how I could do this from an actual site. So here I am with my DC3IT GitHub IO. All links will be put in the description. Same experience, because it's the same code. So explain XML. And here again, it's using my resources. This is on my device. This is not hitting a data center. This is not consuming any type of energy resources, etc. anywhere else. It's all right here local. That's super cool. Performance-wise, it's going to depend on your machine. But at the end of the day, this, for me, is sufficient. If you're using the Macintoshes, you have the M chips, the M series chips, it should work just fine on those. The performance won't be a problem. If you have older graphics cards, they've tweaked this to work with older graphics cards as well. So that's another plus here. You're getting an optimized model designed to run across a plethora of devices. That's important. It's important so you get consistency. It's important so that there's a good experience that's going to come with this. And again, no phone home code. So as we take a look here, there's nothing here that is going over network traffic wise. So you can take the HTML, you can download it, you can tweak it, you can do whatever you want with it. Okay, so here's the link to the GitHub. Again, I will provide these links, but you can see all the code. It's not a ton. After you strip out comments and everything, you're probably under 350 lines. This is all CSS, and I use native HTML for the dialogues. So that's working with your dialogue element, which is cool. So there's no additional dependencies. The only dependencies this has is for DOM Purify, if you choose to use that. And there's comments in the code about it, as well as a markdown. So this is a markdown, screaming markdown. That's what gives you the look as this gets written out in terms of how the display is. Could this be extended to do more things? 100%. Could you download the output? Could you upload other files? Could you do a lot of other maybe calls to other APIs? All depends on what you're trying to do. But the key now is you have a brain. They're calling the LLMs a brain. You basically have a natural language processing tool that you can make part of your app. So we can change the UI UX from a pure click path approach to more of a prompt path approach. Prompt path. I should coin that on a shirt. But at the end of the day, have we seen this before? Well, you used to have commands for DOS and green screens and VAX VMSs and other very command-based or command line-based interfaces. Then we went to GUIs, and we have the click paths, and you have everyone's opinion on what should be, how something should look. Then now with NLP and finally a bit of an engine, even though it's still non-deterministic, it's still probabilistic, guys. It's not going to guarantee 100% accuracy. Don't ever treat it that way. Don't. But you now can type something versus hunting through a GUI for a menu choice, or doing a search that maybe still doesn't return results. So again, it's an interface, I think, to computing. It's an interface. Does it replace things? Nah, it's not going to replace things. It's going to allow, hopefully, for greater ease of data access, but then you're still going to have to verify that data that's returned. So some things to think about, but free, private. You're not spending any money on this. It's staying locally on your device. That's super cool stuff. And for the use case you're trying it for, give it a shot. It's no data's going anywhere. You got no data leakage. There's no data being siphoned off somewhere, training somebody else's model and such. It doesn't work like that. So really cool stuff. Really quite simple to implement and maintain. And you could probably have any GPT, even once you get this one running, will write you the code if you wanted to try and extend it and see what else it could do. This is going to be part of many more videos that I want to make about integrating local AI or web AI into other applications, as well as this standalone concept. But if an application's architecture, and this is the key, supports the ability for custom HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, they're going to allow local AI to happen. And what that means then is your data stays private, your LLM usage stays free, and you can get another opinion all on device without having to send it over the wire to back-end servers. So something else to think about as more videos start to drop. Thanks.